Hello Year 5 and welcome to your Week 4 tutorial for Thursday for the Yellow Group. So yesterday we were in a position where we finished our introductions. We've told our reader what happens in the lunar landings. So now if they read on, they can find out about the two differing opinions, that the lunar landings were real or that the lunar landings were faked. So how do we go about this? Well, it's important that we introduce the argument and then use the evidence to back that point up, because they're not just going to take your word for it. I'm not just going to write one sentence that says some people think that the lunar landings were real, some people think the lunar landings were fake. I think this. That's not going to happen. We need to provide them with the evidence so that they can make their own choices. So, as you can see, I have evidence 1 and 18, and these are both evidence that the lunar landings were faked. So that is what we are going to start with. So some people believe that the lunar landings, you might change that to man's mission to the moon, or Neil Armstrong's mission to the moon, or the Eagle module landings on the moon. Think about it and how you want to say that. Some people believe that the lunar landings of 1969 were faked. And now that's quite an important point, so I'm going to finish it with an exclamation mark. The first piece of evidence to say this is a photo of the American flag waving on the moon. Now, that's great. Our readers might be thinking, oh, well, I don't really understand. Well, why is that an important point? So it's really key that you explain to them why that shows that it was faked. So the first piece of evidence to say there is to say this is, and I take a pause there, so it's come out, a photo of the American flag waving on the moon. If this were real, the flag would not be waving, as there is no air on the moon. And look, I've just used the words that are on the card to help me. Okay, so photographs, really, really important. I've started off, some people believe that the lunar landings, oh, good job I read back because I put faux instead of 1969 were faked. The first piece of evidence to say this is a photo of the America flag, oh, probably better if I said the American flag, waving on the moon. If this were real, the flag would not be waving, as there is not air on the moon. Probably again better if I said no air on the moon. So that is my first two sentences. I've said that some people think it's faked, and I've used my first piece of evidence. Here's 3 more pieces of evidence. So I might say another picture shows no stars in the sky. And then I might just ask my reader, how is that possible? They are in space. So I don't want to say another picture again. I might say in addition, a photo of a rock has the letter C on it. So can you remember? It's got the letter C on it. Why is that important? Oh, because it was a film prop. People think this was a film prop. So all the answers are on the sheets, on the evidence. You just need to remember which ones you want to use to help you. So my last piece of evidence, evidence 17. Finally, an important point is that the moon was so hot it would have melted the camera film. So how do these pictures exist? Important question. And there we go. So I've got my introduction. Some people think it's faked. I've got, there's no air, so how's the flag waving? I've got no stars in the sky. I've got a photo with the letter C and that it was too hot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, 5 sentences in my first paragraph. And remember, that was me separating them just to show you the 5 separate points. But we continue writing until the end of our line as we are writing in paragraphs. So that is our first section, modelled to you guys about how the lunar landings were faked. I suggest now you pause the video and you write your own paragraph about how the lunar landings were faked. You might want to use the same evidence, you might want to use different evidence. That is up to you. When you've done that, you can play the video again and we will talk about the next section about the lunar landings being real. So hopefully you've finished that paragraph by now and you are ready to say other people think that so I've already said lunar landing, I might say the space mission of 1969 was actually real. So there is a lot of evidence to prove this. First, and I find this really, really important, that 400,000 people, you think that's like 1,000 Stoke Park junior schools worked on the NASA project, 100 Stoke Park junior schools keeping it a secret. I don't think that's really possible. So, really important piece of information to show that it was real. So first, over 10 years, 400,000 people worked on the space program. If it was fake, that is a lot of people managing to tell a lie. And then, as well as this evidence here, Japan and America have both done missions since which have shown sort of tracks and stuff on the moon still, so we should mention that. So both America and Japan have used technology like telescopes and space missions and have seen the original tracks and marks made by this mission. There we go. So I've used 2 more pieces of evidence to suggest why it was real. I've said people think it's real. 400,000 people, sorry, not telling a lie, and then the fact that there were subsequent missions. Your task now is to write your real paragraph and see if you can use more than just the 2 pieces of evidence. See if you can find at least one more that you think would fit. And then, once you've done that, you can send both your paragraphs to your teacher to share with them. And I will see you on tomorrow's tutorial, where you will be writing your opinion on the lunar landings. Bye-bye.